Mark,
Paul,
what's going on?
look, I turned my hat around so
I,
people know that this is a completely
I
different
can't
video.
believe it's been a full week.
Yeah, it's been so long. Can't you tell?
Exactly. Um, but we're back.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been a week.
it has been a week. There were actually this past Wednesday, there were no absolute issues that were released. So we are going to, since we missed a week, we kind of split the 4 issues that occurred over the 2 weeks in between to into Absolute Flash and Absolute Green Arrow last week. This week we're doing Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and then we'll be right back on track for next week as well. So, but we're gonna take a look at both of those right after this. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Let us know how we're doing. Leave us a comment. And what did I miss? Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe as well. All four of those things that we always tell you about every single time, at least once, if not twice or three times during our.
Let me do that real quick.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait.
Done.
Okay, great. Um, Absolute Superman.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Oh my gosh. What you are holding in your hands right there, Paul, is my single favorite issue of Absolute Comics to date.
Really?
Everyone's mileage may vary. Superman has head and shoulders above the rest in the pack for me personally right now. Just this Hawkman Black Adam storyline has just solidified it for me. Like it already had the foundation. What they did with Ra's al Ghul was great. What they did with Brainiac was insane to get the edgy Absolute. But what they have done, introducing Black Adam, Hawkman, and Steel in this fight is just, it has felt epic. It has felt like you're paying for epic and you're getting epic with Absolute, and this is it.
The King Shazam has definitely been my favorite story arc of any of the Absolute thing. I would say though, for me, my favorite issue was probably the Absolute Batman Annual, which, by the way, I called and I told you it was going to win. I called it a long time ago.
You did.
I said it was going to win an Eisner.
Yeah, and I still think 90% of the people that read that book completely miss what that book is about.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a beautiful book. Yeah, it was great. But this right here, this just hit me right in the fan button.
Yeah, exactly. We at the end of the last issue, we have Superman in his super steel
soul armor,
right?
SOL, yeah, the armor that's fabricated from the technology that he wears from Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get to see him forge it in this. It ended with him taking Black Adam to the moon to a place to fight him. He's wielding in one hand the mallet, the mace of Hawkman. He's wielding in the other hand John Henry Iron's steel hammer, and he's on the moon, face off against Black Adam, and he's covered in this Kryptonian blue armor, and he's like, let's do this. And then we start this issue from there because they fought the entire last issue, the four of them. They can't stop this guy. They don't know what to do to slow this guy down. Not only can they not stop him, they seem like they can't even hurt him. Like he's just powerful.
And Superman knows that this is going to be a tough fight. So he does something in this issue that, even though it's an absolute issue and you think that it's all like the negative and the bad side, that shows you who Superman is at its essence, even in the absolute universe. And that is, he gives Lois and Jimmy some orders that, hey, look, if I'm killed, this is what you need to do. And it's not, go and tell my parent, well, actually their parents are dead, but it's not, go and say, tell this person I say goodbye, whatever. It is doing these simple things for people. It's feeding a kitten. It is, saying hello to somebody, that whatever it happens to be, around the world, that he's been doing for these people on a weekly, monthly, whatever it happens to be basis.
Yeah, he said, if I don't come back, there's some things I need you to do for me. But it starts off moments ago with a phone call. Lois picking up a phone call from Cal on the moon. And we see Cal forging that suit. We see Soul just going full on, just spiraling around him, bright lights, the red dust of his homeworld, and it's solidifying around him. And Lois is like, what are you doing? He's like, if I don't come back, there's some things I need you to do. We also have Jimmy running through the streets, getting away from the situation, and he's telling Jimmy this as well. But as that's happening, we're now on the lunar surface for Superman's Last Wishes, being what looks like to be the name of this type, the book. Superman's Last Wishes. Possibly. Is that the name of this issue?
It's called Moonfall.
Moonfall, yeah, right there. That Superman's Last Wishes. That really set the tone for me with this fight. I'm like, yo, are we going to do a Death of Superman thing this early on? Because naturally, with the absolute stuff, you expect it to tread over and do its version of iconic moments in comic book history. The Flash title specifically has named every single little 2-issue story arc after iconic Flash runs. We have the Batman of Two Worlds coming up here for Batman Day, like Paul talked about last week, not 20 minutes ago, but last week he talked about that. So I was one that made me think about that when I was reading this. But we have Superman flying in.
Right. This is not the Death of Superman. However, we'll get to it. The ending of this story.
We will get to it.
Maybe, who knows? So, so like I said, we see it was basically, Lois says, I'll do whatever it is you ask me to do. After she basically says, yeah, you're coming back, don't worry about it. It's all gonna be fine, don't worry about it. And he's like, please, I just need you to promise, type of a thing. And it's like it was a list of names.
Yeah, and then it proceeds while this list gets told. It's just the biggest knockdown fight you've seen between Superman and Black Adam in the history of comic books. Hammers hitting hammers, being put into craters, cracking the moon, being thrown through the moon, and all the while this fight is going on, Lois is telling us, the reader, the people that Superman checked in on from time to time. It's an elderly man in Botswana whose medicine he'd deliver, a blind woman in the mountains of Peru whose garden he'd help tend, children in Tanzania he'd bring stories and vaccines and treats from far corners of the earth, the names of stray dogs he fed, rivers prone to flooding he kept an eye on, and spots in the ocean he walked on water to pick up trash. It was stuff he would do in his free time while he was bored. This is how he spends his time. This is why he's the best of us. This.
Exactly. The battle continues. We also flash quickly to Talia and Lois still having their battle as well.
Talia just won't quit, dude. So chill. I do want to point out, like, in the fight, one of the bigger hitter moments right here, because again, like at least 10 times through this fight, you see someone deliver a blow that's like a finishing blow, like Mortal Kombat finish him, nailed him, and Black Adam lands one right here early on after Superman goes off on him, just hammer, smack, pow. I mean, goes off. Black Adam just double hammer fist, craters him in the moon. An entire tornado of black dust, the sands of Egypt, just spiraling through the air, crackling of lightning. And yeah, I think, is this the one that he comes out the other end of the moon? No, he just craters him in that one. Yeah.
Right.
Like, that isn't even the one that he sends him through the moon. Like, it's nuts.
It really is. So like I said, we flash back quickly to Talia and Lois, and Hawkman as well.
Yeah, he's arrived.
Right.
They were told to get away from as far from the father box as they possibly can, and Hawkman comes flying down. You see the father box on the ground in the rubble at the Lazarus facility, tick, tick, ticking, crackling.
Back up to we basically see we see Steel's hammer against
well, after that big after the tornado slam, when we go back up there, the tornado dust clears. Black Adam has formed his own version of body armor.
Right. Because if you remember, we did say, going back a couple issues ago, that it looked as though, and because it was created by Brainiac, it basically it was very similar to Saul.
Yeah, they both have the same suit tech. It's really cool. Right. Black Adam, just like it seems like with time comes strength, with a huge aspect of this power, because he really knows how to wield it. He rears back and he literally plants Superman through the moon, through one side, out the other, cracking the moon. That's not good. But he comes out the other side and they're still fighting. It is like, it doesn't stop. It is unrelenting.
And so we see a mace against the John Henry's hammer, which again just kind of we hear It says clung, which is kind of the which is kind of, when you think about it, would probably be the sound that you would hear if two huge metal things went up against each other,
Clung.
right? Clung, right?
It hurts your arm, the vibrations. I do not recommend it.
Right.
I don't
Um,
recommend clunging.
Clanging is not good.
Yeah,
Clanging
Lois
implies
is now
something is
laying
wrong.
there getting, you see a shot of Lois like holding Talia's hand, who's trying to stab her, and she's looking past imminent death that's right in her face to see the moon up in the sky with explosions, and it's just cracking in front of her eyes. Like this is insane.
Mhm. We then see Superman and Black Adam kind of taunting one another in some ways, um, to the point where Superman totally gets
Under
Black
his
Adam
skin.
under his skin, and he
Yeah.
totally pulls a Mr. Mixes-Piddalick on him, and
I was thinking the same thing because he's talking to him like, dude, this only ends with one of us dying. What happened to you? I understand X, Y, or Z, but where's that little boy who is a slave who fights for good? And he's going off on his fireworks. He's going off on his like that boy's dead.
Mhm.
That boy's dead. X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. There is no more. Teth Adam is no more. I am Shazam.
One thing he shouldn't have said. He turns into this little boy once again, from 3,000 years on the moon. Not going to last there very long, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, he
But
tells him, you can't breathe. Don't worry. I'll get you too. And as soon as he says that, the little kid just gets lit up like a Roman candle, dude.
right, Hawkman comes in
My man.
with the father box, and suddenly Teth Adam is gone.
Yeah, he got rid of him. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And about that time, Lois flips Talia off of her. And then Jimmy pops up and says, that's enough. And he's holding a little blaster. He says, Olsen, you must be joking. You don't have the guts to. Bang. And he just shoots her.
In the leg,
Omega Man
because
shoots
that's
her
where he
dead.
meant. Because I'm sure that's where he meant to shoot her.
Yeah. Bang.
Right. We see he basically Jimmy is on his own. He takes off to join the Omega Men again. Apparently, Lois ditches her interview with the Daily Planet and starts up the Smallville Gazette, which tracks with Superman and Lois, by the way.
Yeah.
Um, and we see Talia is now in jail. Fittingly enough, Lois is reading from the Bible to her, which is exactly how her father ended up in jail, with Superman reading verses from the
Yeah.
Bible to
We
him.
got John Henry Irons surrounded by the Kryptonian crystals in the barn. Looks like he's finding his home as part of the turf with Superman possibly at the fortress.
Right. And we see Superman talking to Hawkman, basically saying, "What did you do?" And he's like, "Don't worry, I did what you couldn't do. I solved the problem with the father box. He is now
I
gone."
saved your life. You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly, type of a thing.
I want a toy of this Hawkman so bad, dude.
Right. And we see, as he's doing that, we then see on another world, thousands of light years away, we see the boy, Teth Adam, Black Adam, basically they're saying, basically, you don't know who I am. I am Shazam. Turns him into Black Adam again, and
Yeah,
he
he's
says,
like, where
"Doesn't
are we?
matter."
Where have you taken me, you infernal box? Who do you
Right.
think I am? I am Shazam. And he hears some screaming from the distance.
Right. He says, "Doesn't matter how long it takes for me to get back. I will get my revenge." And as he flies off, I know it's not the death of Superman, but he's on a world of Doomsday people.
So they intertwined Teth Adam's actual origin in the original Golden Age appearance of Black Adam. The Captain Marvel family, with the help of the Wizard, had to teleport him to the farthest end of the galaxy, and it took him all the way through the Golden Age, through the Silver Age, into was it the Bronze Age?
The Bronze Age, where he
It took
finally
him till the
returned.
Bronze Age to fly through space to get back to Earth, and he was mad when he got here.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, hey.
So it looks like we have that same style origin. So Black Adam is flying back to Earth, and it's going to take him a while, but he'll get there.
Yeah, but with the death of Superman, could he be bringing some of the Doomsday people with him?
Bro, can you imagine when he shows up flying with this giant cape made out of the dust of Egypt with just Doomsdays being drugged behind him? like just carrying Doomsdays with his cape.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, this was easily a 10 out of 10 for me. This was just
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. 10 out of 10. 100%.
That it had everything that the absolute universe has promised that it wants to give you, while still retaining the essence of who Superman is, no matter what universe you're talking about.
Yeah, crushed it.
Mhm.
Action packed, full of heart, just mind numbing moments. Oh yeah, by the way, Superman did put the moon back together after the fight. It gave you some dialogue with Lois is at the Gazette, Jimmy's at the Omega Man. Superman had to go up there and use the heat vision to mold the rocks back together. It ain't as pretty as it once was, but it's there. It's doing its job.
Exactly. That's it. Wonder Woman, number 22, part 2.
Oh, no. I don't know why I thought we'd already did that. Let's put it up.
No, part 2.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Neighbors.
Where do you go from there? I guess you go here.
Yeah.
It was a fine issue. I'll get into it.
Yeah. So where were we when we last saw Wonder Woman? She was basically now. Yeah. She's in the underworld because she has to spend 1 month in the underworld every year now because of her arrangement
with Hades.
With Hades. But then we also flash back and forth between her and Barbara Minerva, who is basically locked up with who is the current Cheetah, who is not doing too well.
Yeah, in Hades, we have Wonder Woman got there. She's looking for her mom, so we pick up on the second half of her quest looking for her mom, and she's come to the cliffs where she's tied up, guarded by Skrilla, and Skrilla is not keen to let her go, so she knows she's going to have to face off against Skrilla.
Right. But which actually also is we see not only Scylla, but we also see who else do we see? The one with the three. We see the 3 dogs, but the one who's
the Hellhound.
Yeah, the Hellhounds.
Cherubus. Are you talking about the big lion head dude from the last issue?
No, the one that's actually riding behind the
that's Scylla.
Oh, is that Scylla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that she's there to fight.
Oh, see, when I think of Scylla, I'm thinking of the Odyssey, and I'm thinking of these 6 tendrils that come out, and that's what.
Yeah, that's Skrilla, right? This is Scylla.
Oh, I thought it was Scylla.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know, Paul.
Okay. Oh, there you go. What do I look like? A Greek historian?
I look like Homer.
Exactly. But we as we see them start their battle, like I said, we then flash back to we see the goddess or whatever, or the demigod who is Cheetah, talking to Barbara Minerva in her
kind of using the sharp tongue.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not here to lie to you into accepting this power. I'm here to just tell you the truths and let you decide if you want it, because I promise you do.
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Wonder Woman hates you or you wouldn't be here. I'm not going to lie to you. This power will make you happy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's free. No side effects.
Just sign here.
Yeah. And blood. Sign in blood, please.
Your payments will start in 3 weeks.
Well, I promise it's easy to unsubscribe. Don't worry. I'll tell you about it when that time comes. We'll talk about it.
Right.
Don't worry about it now.
But we, she is still kind of uncommitted. She hasn't totally been convinced that that's exactly what she wants to do yet. But again, she says, I note you've left out the catch again. So, she knows, like you said, she knows there's something funny going on.
Yeah, she kind of gets to her better part, like talking about how she was a kid. She's always been a dreamer and always knew that there was more to the world than a mundane life. And here it is. It's happening now. You must accept it. And it's almost like she says, I do, in passing. Like, she kind of gets caught up in the thought of memory kind of thing, speaking with this cheetah god and reminiscing on being a child and all the wishes and wonders she had in life. And she just does this casual I do, and boom, pow, bang, shock, crunch,
Plunk,
pow,
plunk.
popping of the eye, rar, eye on the head. And for context, last week, not 37 minutes ago, last week, we managed to get the footage for the picture of what absolute cheetah looks like. And it's grotesque.
It is. Exactly.
Nasty.
Yeah. But then we see Eleanor,
Oh,
and
Kale.
yeah, who
El-
basically
Eleanor's in Flash. This one's Kale,
sorry,
right?
oh sorry, Kale, yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Yep.
They're all the
Eleanor Vaughn.
same.
Yeah, exactly. This nasty ladies all over the place.
Yeah.
Um, they find they go into the cage where Barbara was, and they see that, oh, guess what? There's a big hole on the other side of the cage. They
She's all
must have
broke out.
left. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like
Then we cut back to the underworld where Wonder Woman in her giant sword is fighting Scylla and these dogs. And these dogs is cutting tentacles, stuffing the sword in dogs' mouths. Then the Manticore shows up, of all people, just jumps in the fight, hitting the dogs, fighting back a little bit. Scylla kind of just throws him off of a cliff real fast. And about that time, there's a big crack of green lightning that hits her. And she's pretty dead set on, like, look, I'm not going to relent. I'm not giving you your mom. I'm going to kill you. I know, like, we serve the same goddess here, but like, this goddess gave me your mom and told me that I get to keep her, which isn't exactly true 100%. She gave her to her for now, kind of thing. Like, she has to, yeah, you can have her now, but don't kill her. And Scylla's kind of just abusing that a little bit. So Wonder Woman pulls a Hail Mary play, and she's going to get a little risky and try to get the gods involved.
right, which she does. She
Yeah.
manages to kind of call on Hecate, I believe it is again.
Yeah, she decided to just, what it appears to me is just attempt to let Scylla kill them.
Mhm.
She called out that Hecate wouldn't want this and stuff, and then just kind of puts her arms down and puts herself out there and allows her to come down with her trident. And before it can get there, there's the big explosion where Hecate comes in and stops her. She really put a lot of faith in the fact that Hecate wants us alive. She
Right.
really put all of her eggs in one basket there, right? But she just hits her with that enough. Pretty wicked.
Right. We basically get she comes in, she breaks up the battle. She basically lets Diana take her mother home. As they're going home, Diana has a moment of poor me syndrome, for lack of anything, saying, all of the bad things are happening because of me. I don't know if I can do it anymore. And
She's
she and her
worried
mother.
about Barbara. I think it's important
Exactly.
while Barbara thinks she's been left alone. Wonder Woman's legitimately worried about her and wanting to fight her way back to helping her friend.
Yeah, and while she's having a poor me, her mother basically says, these things are happening. These things are not worse because you are here. You're basically the reason why these things aren't much worse.
Mhm.
And she says, okay, well then just I'm going to need some new weapons, type of a thing. So she gets over it rather quickly. But that's where we end this issue at. This to me was probably maybe a 7 to an 8, maybe.
Yeah, see, I give this one a 7 also.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't, yeah, the fill in artist, not bad, not anything I would write home about. It still blows my mind how it feels like, with the exception of Superman and Flash, it's almost like we have, well, and Green Arrow now, we have like not A tier,
Mhm.
not household names drawing these books.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I can remember back to when Absolute Batman 1 came out. The overwhelming majority of people were speaking about how the artwork wasn't necessarily for them, that it hadn't really sank in yet. It seemed a little abstract, a little quirky and stuff. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how these books are really carrying so much weight and not just being so traditional in the art sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, even when they first started, to your point, I mean, I don't think Nick Dragata was necessarily, I mean, I know he had done some stuff for Marvel, but I don't think it was really a national. This is basically, I think these are a writer driven, books, all of them.
Yeah, Nick Dragata became a household name overnight.
Hmm.
He was not beforehand, that's for sure. Rafael Sandoval is the only one that I like. I would say is like an A tier house artist for DC going into it.
Yeah, but even he didn't have any like ongoing. He was always like a backup type of a thing. You need
Yeah,
someone to do a backup that was really good or whatever, he would go ahead and do that. Um,
I guess he was a casual in my mind because he had already been working consistently at DC in
yeah,
capacity. You know,
yeah. But
who's
I
on
think
the Jeff Lemire one? Who's on the Flash?
Nick Robles was the guy who started it,
Okay.
but the last couple issues have been by some guy named Hainig, just one of those one-word names like Oprah and Adele, and it's like an Hainig.
That's Seal.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Um, but I
The,
mean,
the artist
which is good
presently known
because
as Hayden.
the good part about it is they haven't done anything to lessen my enjoyment of any of the
No,
books.
not one bit. Not one bit. I
Um,
remember some time back, I read this Marvel What If story. It was a Spider-Man story. This is probably back in like 2021 or something. I was excited for it. And it was only like, I think like 3 to 5 issues. I can't remember, but it got to the point where we couldn't even get through it because the artwork was so off-putting.
mhm,
Like Chris, the comic vet, who's a big Spider-Man fan, was on the show regularly, and he even had the same critique. So it wasn't even a me thing. And I was a lot less jaded about Marvel back then than I am now. But if art can really take a lot of people in or out of a book, our friend Durs,
mhm,
he's art first driven with stories. Like it could be like the best book in the world, but if that art doesn't catch for him, he won't make it past issue 2 or 3. And a lot of people are like that. And it's crazy to see that the absolute stuff has superseded everyone's perceived assumptions about themselves because they just get them.
mhm.
They just buy the books.
Yeah. I mean, we are now going. They just announced they're going to be doing the 12th printing of issue number 1. They're going to be
And
reprinting.
Steel.
Yeah, and yep, they're going to be printing the issues 1 through 20 again, as well as the annual. The annual, I think, is going up to
5th or 6th now.
4th printing. I think it's going up to. Um,
And we saw
it,
that
it,
John Henry Irons is getting his suit proper moving forward.
yep, yep. I had mentioned this to Mark. It was something that I read online. Is that if you took just Absolute Batman
Oh yeah.
alone, just that title alone, it would be the 4th largest publisher in all of comics behind DC, Marvel, and Image. That's how many issues it prints every single issue. So,
That's crazy.
mhm. So
What
yeah.
a time to be alive.
Mhm.
Like how long have we been on YouTube? Since like 2019. That's
Yeah.
crazy to think. It's like 7 well, it's been going for a year now, but it was like for 5 years straight explaining people you should try these books. You should try these books.
Yeah.
Well,
It'll be 2 years in October.
Glad you got here.
2 years in October is when DC All In and the Absolute Universe started. So,
Yeah.
but that's going to be it for this edition of DC Comics Deep Dive. Again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to leave us a comment and hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. We will be back next week. But as of right now, I am Paul. Well, actually, not just now, like always, I am Paul. He is Mark.
And for always, we are Legion.
But you're now leaving such a 2815.